How's everybody doing? Good. Welcome to Jackson. Welcome to Teton Raptor Center. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming out and hanging with us this afternoon. Getting your learn on, even though it's summertime. That's always a good time. My name is Becky. I'm the Senior Avian Educator here at Teton Raptor Center. It's a very fancy title, which basically means I'm a teacher. If you are a true raptor, meat, feet, and beak. And those words semi-rhyme, especially if you're from the South. Who? Things like distemper and rabies and fleas, those are things that we can get and our pets can get, but they can't get those things. So if a large owl goes after something like a raccoon, they could actually, and that raccoon has rabies, not only will the owl not get rabies, it won't transmit the rabies to somebody else. We try to keep wild birds in the wild in 3 ways. One, we do research. We have transmitters on birds. We're tracking great gray owls and golden eagles and rough-legged grouse and flammulated owls and northern goshawks and just about everything you can imagine. So the field crew stays very busy out in the field trying to understand what do they eat, where do they winter, where do they summer, how can we help them better stay in the wild through habitat and through conservation plans and all kinds of good stuff. Next, if a bird becomes ill, injured, or orphaned, it can come into our rehab facility. So we're a birdie hospital. Megan Warren is our rehab coordinator. And right now we're actually expecting a bird from Idaho Falls any minute, a great horned owl that's been on the ground a couple days. So some folks gathered it up into a box and they're bringing it over. We hear that it has an eye injury. So we're waiting on an injured bird right now to come into our little birdie hospital. We'll treat them. I think right now we have 10 patients, and then when the owl gets here, that'll make 11. In the event that a bird is injured and it's healthy enough to survive, but cannot go back to the wild. So for example, Rain here, we don't know if she struck a car or a window, but we know that she's blind in her left eye. She can see out her right eye. She always follows me because I'm closest to her. There you go. There we go. So she's blind on this side here. She's blind on her left side from head trauma. And so she's healthy enough to survive, but we can't release her back to the wild. She doesn't have the good binocular vision to hunt after her prey. So now, instead of balancing ecosystems and eating animals with diseases, what is her job? Educational. Her job is to teach, and if her job is to teach, your job is to learn. Bummer, I already warned you. You gotta get your learn on here this summer. So does anybody know what kind of bird Rain is? Did I already say it?
Screech owl.
Eastern screech owl. What kind of bird is this?
Kestrel.
You got it. This is the American kestrel. The American kestrel is very cool. Which category of raptors does this fall under? You know? So a couple of clues. Your biggest clue for what kind of raptor he is those stripes on his face. All falcons have stripes on their face. In raptors, the girls are bigger. The girls are bigger. Most raptors you can't tell. In kestrels, you can. The boys have beautiful blue wings, and the girls have that brown and black that he has between his shoulders. The girls have that brown and black all over. They have that on their wings as well. So Frost, we have him because he's the victim of frostbite. So Frost was found stuck to a pipe in an ice storm. And he's lucky that anybody even heard him. He ended up losing the end of 2 toes, which is actually his talons are finally coming back almost 2 years later. And then he, because of the damage to the wrist, he ended up needing surgery and he lost the end of his wing. All right. We already met one of these kinds of birds. What kind of bird is this? Owl. You got it. This is an owl. Now, a lot of people see this owl and they have 2 responses. 1, great horned owl. 2, why is it so small? So Mendel's mom is an African spotted eagle owl. Those guys are found in South Africa. His dad is a vermiculated eagle owl. They're found in Ethiopia. Talk about how do you tell boy from girl? Well, you really can't. So they thought that mom and dad were 2 boys. They were about the same size. So they said, oh, they're 2 boys. Just house them together, save a little space. Well, they went by a few weeks later, and those 2 boy owls had laid 5 eggs. Oh, you did not wait. I'm not, go back. Half of his head is eyeballs. 25% of his head is his ears. So that's 75% of his head. 75% is eyes and ears. So that only leaves a little tiny spot for what important body part? Have any of you been told you were a wise old owl? If I have a mouse, it's not a lie.
Oh.
That's where she puts the mouse.
Wow, that's majestic. There it went. That's a pretty sweet slow-mo video if you got it.
I did.
Okay, guess what this is?
Barn owl?
Yeah, we got a lot of owls today. Go with it. Owls are cool. This is a barn owl. Barn owls are found on every continent except Antarctica. I used to think, oh, whatever, they're not really that widespread. Well, I went to the Galapagos Islands a few summers ago, and lo and behold, we are hiking down into a lava tube. And our guide says, hey guys, look up there. And in a little crevice, in a lava tube on the Galapagos Islands, was a barn owl. So this is manzana. Does anyone know the Spanish word manzana? What that means? Apple. You got it. Apple. So these guys are nicknamed the apple-faced owl. They sort of look like their face was a sliced open apple. Yeah, so that's why she got the name manzana. And this bird actually came to us as a patient in September last year. I am going to show you her picture from the day she arrived. Idaho Fish and Game called us, said, hey, some guys at a potato plant just picked up this bird outside when they went outside for their break. They just picked up this bird, and we think it's a vulture, so we're gonna bring it to you. She's beautiful now. So this bird was actually, we estimate she was around 18 days old when she came to us. And believe it or not, her facial disc showed up within about 24 hours of getting to us. She was so weak that she needed 20 injections a day. We started noticing some things. Somebody came in down the hallway and the wind caught the door and it slammed and she didn't jump. And then one day we went in and she was asleep on her perch in the enclosure. 1 foot pulled up, eyes closed. And when we walked in and started talking, she didn't wake up. Deaf. She's deaf. So, turns out, we did everything we could. We kept her away from humans while she was growing. We found some other barn owls to go and get her released with. We offered her the live prey. We got her big and strong, but we can't fix what's wrong with her. And so we took her to Dr. Heather, our local vet. We said, can you confirm our suspicions? Heather was dropping pots and pans behind her and everything else, and the bird was not moving. So the downside is the injury is permanent. The ear bones are actually damaged in her head. The good news is it's not something that's painful for her, so she's an excellent candidate for an education bird. The equipment that they're wearing is something that I make. So that's custom fit to the size of this bird, and it has a little label on the inside that says manzana. That's the great horned owl. That's Owlie. I did not name her. Owlie the owl. Owlie is the cornerstone bird of Teton Raptor Center. She was struck by a lumber truck in 2004, broke her left wing, couldn't be released, and became the first education animal for Teton Raptor Center. We estimate that she's taught well over 100,000 people in her lifetime. So we're gonna actually start doing, we're gonna do the math here in the next few weeks. I wanna know exactly how many people she's seen in her life. So it turns out that's an accipiter. That's called a northern goshawk. She's Roger, our founder. She's Roger's retired falconry bird. She actually developed a foot condition last year and ended up injuring the bottoms of her feet, developed some sores. And yea, though they have healed, I really believe the tissue is thin enough that if she tried to hunt today, she would split her feet open. This is a golden eagle. You got it. Golden eagle. His name is Gus. Gus is 11 years old. He has a green turtle pool because blue pools he thinks are trying to kill him. Gus has a bad wing. He was injured in the nest in Wyoming. We think mom or dad might have stepped on him when he was super young, and he was actually retrieved by Game and Fish when he didn't fledge with his siblings. A mycobacterial infection from dirty river water got into River's left wrist and dissolved the bone and tissue. So River can fly, but her left wing is very loose. So there you go. So it's who we are, it's what we do, research, rehab, and education. Thank you for learning about these birds. Thank you for meeting these birds. Thank you for asking questions about these birds. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. Enjoy Jackson. Enjoy your day. Oh my gosh, have fun.
Thank you,
and
Becky.
everybody.